What if I told you that Ford is about to shake up the entire car buying experience with a strategy that some say could be a financial disaster for communities? Ford has announced a radical new plan to cut out dealerships and sell directly to consumers. In this video, we are diving into how this move might impact your next car purchase and even your hometown. From promises of better prices and service to fears that entire local economies could collapse, there is a lot at stake. And trust me, some of the twists Ford has planned might shock you. Stick with us to the end, because this is not just a story about Ford. It is a preview of the future of car buying, and missing out on these details could leave you unprepared for what is coming next. The trigger for change. Ford has reached a pivotal moment in its history, driven by internal challenges that have made the traditional dealership model unsustainable. Over the past several years, many dealerships have struggled to keep pace with shifting industry demands, technological advancements, and consumer expectations. Ford's reliance on a decentralized dealership network has become increasingly costly and inefficient, leading to significant operational bottlenecks. Among these challenges are the outdated processes dealerships use to handle inventory, sales, and servicing. This inefficiency drives up operational costs and limits flexibility in an era where other automakers are moving towards streamlined, direct-to-consumer models. One of the most symbolic examples of this growing crisis is the closure of Patriot Ford, a once thriving dealership in a mid-sized community. The business, which had been operational for multiple decades, cited rising infrastructure costs, particularly for electric vehicle-related upgrades, as a major factor in its downfall. This story is not unique. Many dealership owners have expressed frustration over the mounting costs required to meet new manufacturer standards, such as electric vehicle training and charging infrastructure. These internal struggles have created a ripple effect, reducing both consumer trust and dealer confidence. Ford's leadership under Chief Executive Officer Jim Farley recognized that these long-standing inefficiencies could no longer be ignored. The need for a major transformation became evident, prompting the company to take drastic measures. By consolidating operations and moving toward a digital-first approach, Ford aims to modernize the customer experience while cutting costs. However, these changes have triggered a fierce debate about whether Ford can truly adapt its century-old business model to survive in a rapidly evolving market. Ford's financial and market issues. Ford's internal struggles extend beyond operational inefficiencies. The company has faced significant financial challenges in recent years, particularly in its electric vehicle division. While competitors have successfully capitalized on the growing demand for electric transportation, Ford's efforts have been hampered by high production costs, frequent recalls, and inconsistent market performance. These setbacks have eroded investor confidence, leading to declines in the company's stock value. The electric vehicle division in particular has been a financial black hole for Ford. Battery technology, though crucial to competing in the electric market, remains expensive to develop and scale. As a result, Ford has struggled to offer electric vehicles at price points that attract a broad range of customers. Compounding this issue are high-profile recalls, which have not only drained resources but also damaged the brand's reputation. From battery fires to software malfunctions, these defects have called into question Ford's ability to deliver reliable electric vehicles. For customers, these recalls represent a significant inconvenience and potential safety risk, further disincentivizing them from choosing Ford over competitors. Internally, Ford's leadership is grappling with how to balance its electric ambitions with the realities of its current financial state. A lack of profitability in the electric division is forcing the company to reassess its long-term strategy. Some analysts have pointed to these struggles as evidence that Ford entered the electric market too aggressively, without adequately preparing its supply chain or infrastructure. However, Chief Executive Officer Jim Farley remains adamant that the company can turn things around by streamlining operations and improving product quality. Nevertheless, Ford's financial hurdles remain a critical obstacle in achieving that vision. Competitive market pressures. While Ford battles internal problems, competitors have taken advantage of the situation to strengthen their own positions in the automotive market. Companies like Tesla and General Motors have made significant strides in both innovation and pricing, placing increased pressure on Ford to keep up. Tesla, for example, has revolutionized the automotive industry with its direct-to-consumer sales model, bypassing traditional dealerships entirely. By offering transparent pricing and seamless online purchasing, Tesla has attracted a growing base of loyal customers. This approach has not only enhanced customer satisfaction, but also enabled Tesla to maintain greater control over its profit margins. Similarly, General Motors has made bold moves to expand its electric vehicle offerings, with plans to electrify a large portion of its fleet within the next decade. These competitors have aggressively lowered prices on their electric models, creating a price war that Ford has struggled to match. In response, Ford recently announced price cuts on its Mustang Mach-E, a flagship electric vehicle that had previously been marketed as a premium product. However, these price reductions have come at a cost, further squeezing already thin profit margins. Ford is also facing shifting consumer preferences that have contributed to declining demand for some of its most iconic models. Once considered untouchable in terms of popularity, vehicles like the F-Series trucks and the Mustang are no longer guaranteed to dominate their segments. Younger consumers in particular are showing greater interest in eco-friendly and tech-driven vehicles, which puts additional pressure on Ford to innovate quickly. Without significant improvements to both its electric and hybrid offerings, Ford risks falling further behind in an increasingly competitive market. Dealer-level challenges. Ford's dealership network has historically been one of its greatest assets, providing local communities with easy access to sales and service centers. However, in the current market environment, many of these dealerships are becoming financial liabilities. Rising operational costs, driven by new technology requirements and infrastructure investments, have left many franchisees questioning their long-term viability. The shift toward electric vehicles has been particularly challenging, as dealerships are required to invest in costly upgrades such as high-capacity chargers, specialized tools, and employee training programs. A recent survey of Ford franchise owners revealed that nearly half of respondents expressed doubts about whether they could sustain operations over the next 5 years. Many cited the uneven demand for electric vehicles as a major source of financial instability. While urban dealerships may see higher interest in electric models, rural and suburban locations often struggle to justify the investments due to lower consumer demand. This divide has led to growing tensions between Ford's corporate leadership and its dealership partners. Dealership owners have also voiced concerns about Ford's evolving sales strategy, particularly the push toward a direct-to-consumer model. Many fear that this approach will marginalize smaller, family-owned dealerships that have served their communities for generations. In areas where dealerships are major employers, closures could have devastating economic consequences, further fueling resentment toward Ford's leadership. Despite these challenges, some within the company argue that a streamlined network of fewer, more technologically advanced dealerships could ultimately benefit both Ford and its customers. By reducing redundancy and focusing on high-demand locations, Ford hopes to improve operational efficiency and profitability. However, this vision remains contentious, and the future of the dealership model is still uncertain. Embracing a direct-to-consumer model, Ford is embarking on a bold strategy to reshape how it sells vehicles, led by its Chief Executive Officer Jim Farley. The plan is to adopt a direct-to-consumer approach inspired by the success of Tesla's online sales model. This shift involves bypassing the traditional dealership network, which has long been a cornerstone of automotive sales. By removing intermediaries, Ford aims to streamline the car buying process, reduce costs, and provide a more modern experience for its customers. For decades, consumers have associated car purchases with visits to brick-and-mortar dealerships, often negotiating prices and financing with sales representatives. However, consumer expectations are changing. Buyers today are accustomed to online shopping experiences that offer transparency, convenience, and time savings. Ford recognizes this shift and is determined to modernize its sales strategy to meet these evolving demands. The company's vision centers on an online-first sales system that allows customers to browse, customize, and purchase vehicles without ever stepping into a dealership. This strategy promises benefits such as fixed pricing, which eliminates the need for haggling, and direct delivery options that bring new cars straight to the consumer's door. Service offerings are also undergoing a transformation, with plans for mobile maintenance units that can perform routine services at the customer's home or workplace. While this approach has the potential to attract tech-savvy buyers, Ford faces significant challenges in executing it on a large scale. Unlike newer automakers that were designed with online-first strategies in mind, Ford must balance this transformation with its existing infrastructure and long-standing dealer relationships. These partnerships, however, are becoming increasingly strained as the company accelerates its shift toward direct sales. Consumer benefits and innovations. Ford's transition to a direct-to-consumer model is driven by the desire to offer a seamless and personalized car buying experience. In this model, potential buyers can explore a wide range of options online, from trim levels to color choices, and see real-time pricing updates. This level of transparency helps consumers make informed decisions without the pressure often associated with traditional sales environments. One of the most significant consumer benefits is the end of price negotiation. Historically, dealerships dealerships have used variable pricing strategies that often confuse or frustrate buyers. Under the new system, Ford plans to implement a standardized, no-haggle pricing structure across all sales channels. This move will make pricing more predictable and trustworthy for consumers, who will no longer need to worry about negotiating to get the best deal. In addition to transparent pricing, Ford aims to enhance convenience through mobile services. Routine vehicle maintenance, such as oil changes and tire rotations, can be scheduled via the company's app, with technicians dispatched directly to the customer's location. This innovation addresses one of the most common pain points for car owners: the inconvenience of visiting a service center. Furthermore, Ford is introducing a system that allows consumers to take virtual test drives. Advanced simulations provide an immersive experience, giving potential buyers a feel for the vehicle's performance and features without requiring a physical test drive. While this technology is still in development, it represents another step toward a fully digital car buying process. Despite these advancements, Ford is mindful that not all consumers will immediately embrace this shift. The company is implementing support systems to assist less tech-savvy buyers, including dedicated customer service teams that can guide them through the online purchasing process. Resistance and potential risks. Ford's ambitious strategy is not without its detractors. Rural communities and older demographics in particular have expressed concerns about the move to a fully digital sales model. In many small towns, local dealerships serve as community hubs and trusted sources of information. Residents often rely on these businesses for personalized service and in-person consultations, which digital platforms may not fully replicate. One major concern is the potential for digital exclusion. Not all consumers have reliable internet access or the technical literacy needed to navigate online platforms. For these individuals, the absence of local dealerships could create barriers to vehicle ownership and maintenance. Ford acknowledges this risk and is exploring hybrid approaches that combine online services with select in-person touchpoints in underserved regions. Dealerships themselves are also voicing strong opposition to the direct-to-consumer model. Many dealers have invested heavily in infrastructure, particularly to accommodate Ford's electric vehicle strategy. Installing high-capacity charging stations and upgrading service facilities requires significant capital, and dealers are worried that these investments may not yield adequate returns if sales volume declines. Additionally, dealers argue that Ford's move undermines the franchise model, which has provided stability and local economic benefits for decades. Dealership closures could result in job losses and reduce tax revenue in many communities. In response, dealer associations are lobbying for state-level protections that would limit the company's ability to bypass traditional sales networks. The transition also carries financial risks for Ford. While direct sales may reduce certain costs, the company must invest heavily in digital infrastructure, logistics, and customer support. If the strategy does not generate sufficient revenue growth, these upfront expenses could strain Ford's bottom line. Local economic impact. In many small towns, the closure of a local dealership can have ripple effects throughout the community. Take the example of Whiteville, a town that relied heavily on its Ford dealership for both economic stability and social engagement. When the dealership shut down, it left a void not only in the local economy but also in the town's identity. Small businesses that depended on dealership traffic, such as auto repair shops and diners, saw a sharp decline in customers. The loss of jobs is another critical issue. Dealerships often employ a range of workers, from sales representatives to service technicians. For many rural areas, these jobs provide one of the few sources of stable, well-paying employment. When a dealership closes, displaced workers may struggle to find comparable opportunities without relocating to larger cities. Community leaders in towns like Whiteville are calling for greater support from automakers as they adapt to these changes. Some have proposed partnerships with Ford to establish training programs that prepare workers for roles in the electric vehicle industry, such as battery maintenance and software diagnostics. However, these efforts are still in the early stages and face challenges related to funding and implementation. Beyond the immediate economic effects, dealership closures also have symbolic significance. For generations, these businesses have represented trust and continuity in small communities. As Ford transitions to a new sales model, it must navigate these social dynamics carefully to avoid alienating loyal customers. Ford's strategy to reinvent its sales model represents a high-stakes gamble. The company is betting that consumers will embrace the convenience and transparency of online purchasing, while also striving to address the concerns of dealers in rural communities. Whether this approach will lead to long-term success or further challenges remains to be seen. Quality and consumer trust issues. Ford faces an uphill battle to restore its reputation, tarnished by concerns over reliability and cost. Many consumers perceive Ford vehicles as expensive yet prone to defects. The company's struggle with large-scale product recalls has deepened this image problem. For example, the recall of hundreds of thousands of vehicles over braking, steering, and electrical system malfunctions has eroded trust among even loyal customers. These recalls not only create a direct financial burden for Ford, but also impact future sales. Potential buyers hesitate to invest in models with a track record of flaws, especially when the cost of ownership is perceived to be higher due to frequent repairs. The complexity of new vehicle technology, particularly in electrified models, complicates this issue further. Consumers increasingly expect intuitive and reliable interfaces, but glitches in software systems and poorly integrated features frustrate users, leading to negative reviews and damage brand loyalty. To regain trust, Ford must emphasize durability and transparent communication regarding product improvements. The struggles of Ford's electric vehicle division. The move towards electrification has proven more difficult and expensive than Ford anticipated. The division focused on electric vehicles has experienced significant financial losses, largely driven by high battery costs and supply chain constraints. Unlike competitors who have mastered cost-efficient manufacturing, Ford struggles to reach profitability on its electric models. This issue is compounded by the rapid pace of technological advancement. Tesla, for example, leads the industry with lower production costs, longer vehicle range, and faster software updates. In contrast, Ford's electric offerings often fall short in direct comparisons. Critics point to challenges such as limited battery efficiency and a lack of charging infrastructure, both of which discourage potential buyers from choosing Ford's electric options. International automakers also pose a threat. Companies in Europe and Asia have gained a foothold in key markets by offering competitively priced electric vehicles with strong reliability records. Ford's inability to match these competitors' innovation and pricing strategies places it at a disadvantage. To compete effectively, Ford must either reduce manufacturing costs significantly or differentiate its electric models through unique features and enhanced customer support. The impact of price wars. Price competition in the electric vehicle market has intensified, with Tesla leading the charge by slashing prices on key models. This aggressive pricing strategy is designed to dominate market share, making it difficult for other automakers, including Ford, to keep pace. Tesla's ability to offer substantial price cuts is a result of its vertical integration and advanced production methods, which allow it to maintain profitability even at reduced margins. Ford has attempted to counter this by lowering the prices of models such as the Mustang Mach-E. However, these price cuts have a mixed impact. While they may attract cost-sensitive buyers in the short term, they also put pressure on Ford's profit margins. With limited room to absorb these losses, Ford risks further financial strain if demand does not increase substantially. Additionally, lowering prices can inadvertently harm the brand's image by suggesting a lack of confidence in its products or signaling that the vehicles are not competitive on features alone. This competitive environment forces Ford to make strategic decisions about its pricing and production priorities. Should it prioritize lower prices to stay in the race, or focus on premium features to justify higher costs? Each option carries risks, and missteps could result in further loss of market share. Dealer relations at a breaking point. Ford's relationship with its dealerships has reached a critical juncture, largely due to conflicts over the company's electric vehicle certification program. This program requires dealerships to invest heavily in infrastructure, including high-capacity charging stations and specialized maintenance tools to qualify for selling electric models. Many dealers, particularly those in smaller markets, have expressed concerns about the return on investment. They argue that electric vehicle demand is too low in their regions to justify the upfront costs, leading to heightened tensions with Ford's leadership. Furthermore, the economic strain on dealerships has been exacerbated by weak electric vehicle sales. As dealerships struggle to move inventory, profitability declines, creating a cycle of dissatisfaction and resistance. Some franchisees have gone so far as to threaten legal action, demanding more flexible terms and greater support from Ford to weather the transition to electrification. This strained dynamic could have long-term consequences for Ford's strategy. Dealers serve as a vital link to local communities and loyal customers. If these relationships deteriorate further, Ford risks losing a significant portion of its distribution network and sales channels. Rebuilding trust will require meaningful compromise, such as offering phased investment plans or providing financial incentives to ease the burden on dealerships. Ford's ability to successfully address these broader industry challenges will determine its future viability. Each of these interconnected obstacles presents a unique opportunity for strategic adaptation, restoring trust and strengthening relations. Ford is at a pivotal point where rebuilding trust and reinforcing relationships with both consumers and dealers is critical. The company has faced backlash due to recurring product recalls, rising vehicle prices, and the uncertainty surrounding its shift to a direct sales model. For Ford to succeed in this transformation, addressing these concerns transparently and swiftly is essential. One of the primary steps Ford can take is improving the quality and reliability of its vehicles. Past issues, including engine malfunctions and defective parts, have diminished confidence in the brand. Comprehensive quality control measures must be implemented to prevent future recalls. Additionally, Ford needs to establish transparent channels of communication with its customers, keeping them informed of product updates, recalls, and service options. Providing early notice on potential issues will demonstrate accountability and commitment to improving their overall experience. For dealers, this period of transition has been turbulent, leaving many uncertain about their future role in Ford's ecosystem. To rebuild these strained relationships, Ford must offer dealerships clear guidance on the company's evolving strategy, enhanced training programs, and support to facilitate the sale and servicing of electric and hybrid models can help dealers adapt to new technologies. Furthermore, Ford should maintain partnerships with key dealers to provide ongoing service solutions for customers who may be adversely affected by the shift to digital-first sales. Emphasizing hybrid models for accessibility. Electric vehicles represent the future, but challenges such as high costs and charging infrastructure limitations hinder their broader adoption. Ford's pivot toward expanding hybrid offerings is an effective strategy to address these obstacles. Hybrid models strike a balance by offering fuel efficiency while alleviating concerns about range anxiety. This makes them a viable option for drivers who are hesitant to transition fully to electric. The company's plan includes launching larger, family-friendly hybrid sport utility vehicles to attract a wider demographic. These vehicles cater to families who require space, durability, and versatility without the need for frequent recharging stops. By developing hybrids with competitive pricing, Ford can also create more affordable entry points for consumers in diverse income brackets. Ford's hybrid strategy also leverages its current manufacturing infrastructure, enabling the company to gradually shift toward full electrification as demand increases and battery technology improves. This phased approach allows Ford to remain relevant while accommodating a spectrum of consumer needs, from traditional gas-powered buyers to environmentally conscious customers. Industry response to Ford's strategy. Ford's bold decision to transition to direct-to-consumer sales and reduce its dependency on traditional dealerships has sent shockwaves through the automotive industry. Established competitors like General Motors, Toyota, and Stellantis are closely monitoring Ford's progress. Should this strategy prove successful, it could inspire similar changes across the industry. The direct-to-consumer model, pioneered by companies such as Tesla, offers advantages including pricing control, streamlined logistics, and direct customer engagement. However, legacy automakers face the challenge of balancing this model with existing dealership networks. Some manufacturers may adopt hybrid approaches, integrating both online and physical sales channels to retain dealer partnerships. The implications of Ford's shift extend beyond the United States. Smaller automakers and international brands are also evaluating the risks and rewards of reducing dealership reliance. This could potentially lead to greater competition in global markets, particularly as manufacturers race to enhance digital sales platforms. While larger automakers have the resources to adapt, smaller companies may find it difficult to compete in a digital-dominated landscape. This raises concerns about industry consolidation, where only those capable of significant technological investments can survive and thrive. Preparing consumers and communities for the future. Ford's restructuring will not only redefine how cars are sold, but will also reshape the car buying experience and local economies. As the company phases out traditional dealerships, consumers must adjust to a new model of purchasing and maintaining vehicles. Buyers can expect a digital-first experience, where everything from browsing to customization and delivery is handled online. One challenge for consumers is the loss of in-person test drives and consultations. Virtual showrooms and augmented reality tools can provide some assistance, but they may not fully replicate the tactile experience of visiting a dealership. To mitigate this, Ford could partner with select locations or establish temporary event spaces where potential buyers can interact with vehicles. Service and maintenance are also key areas of concern. Without nearby dealerships, customers may face longer travel times or limited access to certified technicians. trends. Ford plans to develop dedicated service centers and mobile maintenance units to address this issue, but successful implementation will require careful coordination to ensure widespread coverage. For small towns and rural areas, the closure of local dealerships presents an economic challenge. These dealerships have historically served as anchors for their communities, providing jobs, supporting local businesses, and contributing to tax revenues. Their absence can create ripple effects, impacting everything from employment rates to small business viability. Communities affected by dealership closures may need to explore alternative economic opportunities, such as attracting other types of businesses or investing in workforce development programs. Municipal leaders could collaborate with automakers to ensure that new service hubs or automotive technology training centers are established in areas experiencing economic hardship. By committing to clear communication, quality service, and affordable options, Ford has the potential to lead the industry into a new era. Is this bold move the catalyst for Ford's resurgence, or will it accelerate its decline? What are your thoughts on Ford's strategy? Share your thoughts down below and subscribe. Thanks for watching.